Hey guys, sorry. This is part two of uh, our discussion on sleep, and I want to recommend a book to you guys. It's called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Profound book on the importance of sleep, and it gives you a foundational base on why we sleep. Very profound book with many insights on why we sleep. And so, arming yourself with all this information gives you the opportunity um, to be able to develop your sleep habits over time um, into a much more conscious manner, where you're sleeping with intention, so to speak. It's interesting because we think about the way life was before, right? Thousands of years ago, us as human beings, we are used to, and still today, we're used to seeing the sun up in the sky, right? As the day starts, and that light hitting our retina um, sort of triggers our circadian rhythm. It's in line with it, and so our sort of physical and mental state, it's triggered to be more active, right? So we feel more awake as the day begins, and then as night falls and darkness sets in, um, our body starts producing more of the sleep hormones, which make us feel more and more sleepy, which is supposed to make us want to fall asleep by the time the sun goes down. Ideally, 7, 8 o'clock at night, depending on the season or where you live, but generally, right, between 6 and 9 p.m., generally when the sun goes down. And we used to live that way as human beings for thousands of years until the invention of electricity about 140 years ago or so. And so, everything changed after that. And especially over the last 20 or 30 years with the advent of 24/7 entertainment access and smartphones, which trigger us to be awake even longer in the night. And I've noticed the profound change that had on me. I thought that it didn't matter. I would just, stay up many nights, either watching TV or being on my phone. But I noticed that as I did that, I can acknowledge in myself the damage that I was doing to myself. I was hurting myself. And I would notice it the next day. Many times I would feel miserable because I would be so tired. A lot of times I would do it out of a sense of frustration over things not going so well in my life the way that I wanted them to. So I would use sleep as a mechanism to sort of have control over my life. And I think there are other people who share the same sentiment. And so I urge you guys to see sleep as a way to profoundly change your life in a sense. Because if you're sleeping well, you're able to have the energy to improve many other areas of your life, So it's an opportunity to really use this simple tool. It's simple, but tricky in the sense that it takes effort on your part, because everything in society is trying to grab your attention and trying to keep you up at night. It's so much easier to stay up as opposed to being intentional and setting your sleep schedule, saying, no, I'm not going to sleep past, 10 or 10:30 so that I'm well rested throughout the night and throughout the day. And so, it definitely takes more effort to be deliberate about your sleep schedule. But if you do that, you'll definitely reap the rewards of greater energy, greater focus mentally, greater health. You'll live longer, you'll feel better. Um, it reduces depression, it reduces mood swings, anxiety. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Just sleep can do this. And so, yeah, sleep is a profound tool, and it can take years to master. Um, it's something that I've been working on for a number of years now. And, it's important also to give yourself grace, to go easy on yourself when, you've had maybe a few nights that you weren't so deliberate with your schedule and you stayed up late, watching TV or something like that. That's okay. We're human beings. We're not meant to be perfect. And society is very cunning in grabbing our attention. The important thing is to get back to our routines and also use all the resources that we have in our disposal to help us. There are applications like Screen Time or App Block on the iPhone and other phones that allow you to set specific times where you can no longer use your phone because it becomes blocked because you set it that way to protect your sleep. And so in this way, we have to fight fire with fire. We have to fight technology with technology and not just our own free will, because our will many times is not powerful enough. Sometimes it is, and maybe for other people it could be different, but for me, it's not strong enough many times to counteract the power of many minds working together to keep you in this cycle of perpetual viewing of content that has become the norm over the past, decade or more. And so, yeah, being able to use those resources is profound in helping us achieve sleep mastery. Sleep is one of the foundational pillars of good health alongside nutrition and exercise. And sleep, I would say, is one of the best to start because I feel like it's one of the three that will have the most profound impact on your health and your mood almost instantaneously as you start being deliberate with your sleep time and you intend to sleep at least 8 to 9 hours or even more, 9.5 hours a night. You'll see how much your health improves. And also, not sleeping well is one of the quickest ways to poor health as well, and even Alzheimer's and all those sorts of ailments. And so by focusing on your sleep, you're able to set the foundation for creating a healthier, more profound and active life for yourself, such then you'll be in a much better place to work on your nutrition and also your exercise. So yeah, guys, sleep, it is very important, just as our parents would always tell us. Even though many times we wouldn't want to listen. I know I wouldn't want to listen. I remember when my mom would tell me, like, when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, she would tell me, go to sleep at 8. And I would wait until she went to bed. And then, like, a minute later, I would wake up and turn on the TV, and I would feel so, like mischievous, like, oh my God, I'm breaking the rules, and it felt so good. But, obviously as a child, you don't understand. But now growing up, I see, wow, it is very important to get that rest and that sleep. Absolutely, 100%. And so I hope that these tips help you guys out. Let me know what you guys think about your sleep and how you've been able to work on it over the years what are your sticking points, and what do you feel like you can do better? And yeah, let me know, and let's get the conversation going. Until next time, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.